Welcome. My name is John Hickenlooper. I'm the mayor of Denver. We are delighted to finally, after almost 2 years of planning, to really be here and to be kicking off, I think, what will be one of the greatest conventions in history. I just lost my breath coming up those stairs. It's not a good sign, is it? What we're really proud about is having a convention in the Rocky Mountain West, because we think that a lot of what the Western values symbolize is exactly what this country needs now. And certainly those values are what Barack Obama has come to stand for. This is an area where people, it doesn't matter who your parents were, who your grandparents were, it matters who you are and how hard you're willing to work to achieve your dreams. You don't accept the status quo. When I came in as mayor, I'd never been in politics. People said you couldn't change City Hall without a lot of experience inside the machine, right? And yet we've cut chronic homelessness by 36%. We've been able to reduce crime by double digits the last 3 years. We've been able to reach out and create a relationship with the public schools so that we have the most rapidly improving public school system, public school district in the entire state. All these things are by bringing fresh ideas, taking large groups of people and creating a collaborative environment, which is exactly what Barack Obama's been talking about for the last year and a half. And I think when you step back and look at what the West has, one of the great natural wonders of the world, the Colorado Rockies, 300 days of sunshine, biking, 850 miles of bike path. It's a place I always joke that people get up earlier on the weekends than they do on the weekdays. But that quality of life makes us willing to come together and work cooperatively to achieve our goals, to solve problems. And again, that's what Barack Obama is all about. We don't pick sides based on parties. We try to, once the election's over, we put down the weapons, we work together, we collaborate to find solutions and move this country forward, and that becomes more important every year that goes by. And I'd like to introduce one of my great friends, and certainly in terms of a person's ability to build alliances and relationships, someone who can reach across the aisle and say, wait a second, let's get away from the petty stuff. Let's recognize that our common self-interest is so much more powerful than our more narrowly defined self-interest. If we can work together on some of these issues collaboratively, we can accomplish huge, huge things. And that is Ken Salazar, our senator, who is, I think, one of the most visionary and talented senators in the entire U.S. Senate.
Thank you, Mayor. I want to welcome all of you here to Mile High, Colorado. We are 5,280 feet above sea level here, and it's very appropriate that as we launch the convention and we welcome the world here to the state of Colorado, that we take the inspiration from the West, from the grandeur of our Rocky Mountains, and we move forward with a united Obama-Biden ticket that will change the world forever. And in that change of the world forever, what we need to do is to make sure that we create the peace of the world back together again, that we move forward in the right ways in Iraq and Afghanistan and deal with the issues of terrorism, that we bring about the kind of change that will move the energy future that Governor Ritter and Mayor Hickenlooper have been leading here in Colorado, and that we deal with the issue of health care for all Americans. That change requires a new beginning, and that's what Barack Obama, with his freshness, will bring here to Colorado and to our country and to the world. So I'm excited that we are having this convention here in Colorado. I'm excited that we will see the acceptance speech here of Barack Obama on this Thursday night here at Mile High. And at the end of the day, what we're going to see is a launching of our nominee to the White House in November. The road to the White House, we knew from several years ago, would come through the West. The independence of the West, the results orientation that people like Governor Ritter and Mayor Hickenlooper have, that's ultimately what Barack Obama stands for, and that's why he ultimately is going to win this November election, and it's our pride really to be able to launch him in that successful effort here at Mile High. I also want to just take a quick second and say something about my good friend Joe Biden. I'm a good friend of both Barack Obama's and Joe Biden's. Joe Biden brings a tremendous amount of energy to this ticket. He is by far one of the best experts on foreign policy in the entire United States Senate and the entire country. We need to put the world back together again, and Joe Biden is that person to complement Barack Obama's experience, both of them serving on the Foreign Policy Committee in the U.S. Senate to help us put the world back together again. And secondly, from a law enforcement point of view, I served as Attorney General of this state for 6 years. I worked on COPS programs and burn grant programs and violence against women's programs. And there is no senator in the United States Senate who is better than Joe Biden in terms of making sure that we are keeping America secure here at home. So I'm very, very proud of the choice that Barack Obama has made in Joe Biden. And with that, I want to introduce the governor of Colorado. You know, sometimes you think about people's history and what has got them to where they are. You know, my good friend John Hickenlooper, who has worked so tirelessly on this convention and has done so much to help make this city a great city, and who is a great leader in the entire metropolitan area and throughout the state of Colorado. He's brought vision to this state. My good friend Bill Ritter, I think of his history as a missionary, someone who had choices and decided that he was going to be a servant to the people and spent his time working for people who were struggling in Africa. My good friend Bill Ritter has come to the governorship of the state of Colorado after having been in law enforcement for a long time. And the revolution that is underway here in Colorado includes the energy revolution, where we're making major, major strides in creating a new energy frontier for Colorado. And so it is my honor to call Bill and John partners, and for them, I just say thank you for having created this moment here at Mile High.
Thank you.
Thanks, Senator. I was talking to a columnist the other day, and they said, really, what is the difference between you and Senator Salazar? You're both from rural areas, you know, you both have large families. I said the difference is the Salazars rode in on the woolly mammoth. They came in on tusked creatures. They've been here so long, generations and generations. I think the three of us represent in a way what Colorado's about. We all, I think, have found a way to talk to people of this state about issues that really matter to that people. It's no secret that in Colorado there are more independent voters than there are either Republicans or Democrats. And in part, that is, I think, a statement about where voters are with respect to party politics. And I really am happy as well that Barack Obama gets to make his acceptance speech here in Invesco Field, which I think is that night sort of the place where the statement about what has happened in the West and the political landscape in the West will be told best. That's because Montana and Wyoming and Colorado, Kansas, Oklahoma, Arizona, New Mexico, they all have Democratic governors. They're all Democratic governors who succeeded Republicans. Many of them have been re-elected in heavily Republican states, but really it's because of the way those governors have governed. And they've governed to a group of people who really are the electorate and say, we want leadership. We want people who are about change. We want people who really will take this country forward in a better and a different way. I would also echo what Senator Salazar said about Senator Joe Biden. As a prosecutor as the district attorney, I was a prosecutor for a long time before that, but the DA from '93 until 2005, and the person in the United States Senate, I think did the best job of leading this country forward with respect to really security policy, domestic security policy we'd call it, but law enforcement issues and really crime issues was Joe Biden. He authored the 1994 Crime Control Act. He was the first person to author and get passed a significant piece